is that time again. We have another PSA grade return. And I know, first of all, y'all gotta leave a like just for it being a PSA grade return. It's been that long. But two, I'm very excited about this because, well, number one, it's been a while. And number two, I finally got my hands on some cards that came out recently that nobody has been grading. Cards just haven't been really being graded that much in the Yu-Gi-Oh space. Now, obviously in Pokemon and everything else, it's still super alive. But I feel like specifically for this, not many people care. And I get it. It's probably because it's more niche, because like, unless you're actively playing the game right now, people that grew up on the collector side of Yu-Gi-Oh aren't necessarily looking for like an Appaloosa or Underworld Goddess and stuff like that. But with me, who's an active player, I love everything about Yu-Gi-Oh right now. I play Master Duel. I got my IRL decks as well. Every card that's like special to me that I play, I want that card slabbed up, you know, if that makes sense. And luckily, the Rarity collection that came out recently had a lot of really, really cool cards that I was super excited about, including some that came back for the first time in like 8 years that I feel like was specifically marketed for myself. First things first, we got this Dungeon Dice card. This is obviously not from the Rarity collection. I got this in Japan. And this, I'm not expecting anything higher than, honestly, a 9. It looked really, really good. And it's a 7. What happened with the 7? This is the last card in the trio that I don't have. I have a BGS. I have almost a black label, the green one, if you guys know, in BGS. And then I have a 10 for the pink one, which is the iconic art that we saw in Magician's Force. And then there's this one, which I didn't really care too much about, but like I saw while I was in Japan back in, what was it, in April/May, might have been, I don't remember, a last trip, and I was like, it looks good, I'll buy it, and it was a good price. But I don't really care too much to like get this card as a 10. But honestly, I thought it was like at least a 9, but it had like a chance to be a PSA 10, but I guess my eyes weren't good for that one. All right, next one, we have Raye. We have the Alt Art Raye, and hey, we got the 10, nice. I probably sent in way too many of these. How many do we got? So we have currently there's 3 10s. So we have 1 of the 3 10s, which is nice. I actually got my PSA set up for this again. But this card I feel like is cool because it's only available in QCR in the recent Battle Legends set. And I know there's a lot of drama involved with the Magia as well, which is only available for this QCR as well. It's a whole nother discussion. But I feel like this card was kind of slept on because like Raye is, I love Kill la Kill. And the Sky Striker like theme just gives me such a Kill la Kill vibe that I'm like, I'll probably never play this deck. Actually, I might play this deck at some point. The deck is pretty decent. It's pretty fun too. But the whole Kill la Kill aspect of like Raye and Rose, I feel like to me just is what makes you like this card. And I think this alt art is just really, really good too. All right, so we got that 10, which is nice. We're going right into Appaloosa. I think I only sent 1. And honestly, I really want this as a BGS 10. Hey, we got the 10. Love that. Let me actually find Apple on this list now because I had everything already tabbed out. Here we go. And there's currently 2 10s. Really? See, this is what I mean. Why is no one grading Appaloosa? I mean, I know everyone's playing this card, but like, this is my argument behind it. Appaloosa, the last time she came out, granted, it was a Starlight, as I punched my screen. It was a Starlight, and it was very, very hard to get. That card ended up being like 1,000 plus. And there's like barely any 10s because most people just played the card. But now we have Appaloosa in the better art, because this art honestly is way better than her and the bear. And it's super accessible. I think this is like a $30 card. Why is no one grading these? I mean, I guess everyone's playing it because it's a cheap card, but like, look at this card. This card is fantastic. And I remember I pulled this actually in my preview box that was sent to me from like my sponsored opening a while back. That's sick. Love that. Well, now I don't have to worry about finding a 10 for this. So that's definitely a GG. Only 2 10s is crazy. So here's the thing. By the time people stop playing Appaloosa or if that card gets banned and then they try to submit it, all the cards that exist will be played. So I feel like, wouldn't you want to get this card graded now? Again, this is not going to cater to anybody that grew up with the game because Appaloosa is a fairly new card. It came out like, what, 2019? But it's still a dope card. You know, you got Appaloosa with the bow. It's super playable. It's super crazy meta. Like, this card is sick. Why is someone grading this? At $30, just buy a couple of them, send them in. I guarantee they're all gonna be 10s because print quality and rarity collection is insane. Ooh, I have a story with this one. And we got the 10. Yes, love that. Love that. That's sick. Okay, I have a story with this. Where is the there it is. There's currently 31 10s. Wow, that's actually a lot more than I thought. I mean, 31 is still pretty low, but I didn't expect there to be this many, which is kind of funny. All right, so I actually bought this while I was in Japan. Japan does have English cards where you can find them, and nobody buys them because you can't play these cards into OCG. OCG can only have OCG cards or the Asian edition cards. In the TCG, only play TCG cards. So it makes sense that no one really buys English cards in Japan except for foreigners who just happen to visit, or I don't know, maybe you buy it and you play the TCG version with your friends over there. But I saw this and it was sold at a discounted price. Well, it was sold at a discounted price because number one, it was English, and number two, it was not up to par to the shop. The shop literally said this is a lower quality version of the card because they don't think it was flawless. And I remember I bought this initially. I think I paid like 20 bucks for it. It was like super cheap. And by the way, this is like a $70 card. So with currency exchange, 20 bucks is insane. I bought this and I immediately put it in my pile of cards that were going to a future deck. And I'm looking at it. I'm like, when I got home, I'm like, look for yourself. There's nothing wrong with this card. And usually with these ultimate rares that come from like the OTS packs, they're always like the surfaces and edges are always like cracking and stuff like that. And I'm on the corner here actually. For a second, I thought I saw something, but just how the light was reflecting like that. Usually with these, like the edges always crack, and I'm surprised that it was that good quality. And keep in mind, they sold it as damaged. So I'm like, well, let's see what it says. If PSA gives us a 10, it's gonna be just graded. If not, if it's like a 9 or 8, I'll just crack it out and put it back into my deck. But like, this is insane. It's an insane card. Although I don't think it's that expensive. Again, this is another one of those cards that's not really iconic to people who grew up with the game. But if you play the game right now, it has impact on, like, you know, the meta and stuff like that. Masquerina. This is going to be a easy 10 because I feel like they're all, or not. That's fine. That's fine. How many 9s do we got? Let's find out. Let me pull it up. 4 to 9s. Drum rolls. There are currently 6 9s and there's 4 10s. One of those 10s got to be mine. Again, I pulled this. I think I bought like 3 and I sent it in total. So we got to get one of these as a 10. But even if we don't, it doesn't really matter. Hey, 7. What happened here? What happened here? It doesn't matter. I mean, I'm going to crack this out and put it in a deck. But that one, it definitely makes me 7. I have the only 7 in the world. This is about to be a top 0 because it's going into one of my many decks that run Underworld Goddess. Again, another card that people don't necessarily would grade, but I mean, you know how it is. She's considered a waifu technically. Someone's gonna want it. I put this in every single deck, so it's an iconic card to me. That's why I figured I gotta get at least 110 for that. Great. Style Magician. Why everything's like mixed up in this? This is the card I was talking. You know, I'll just show it. Woo! We got the 10. Love that. This is the card I was talking about. I have been a Style Magician absolute insane fanboy for as long as this card has existed, from 2016. This is the card that actually brought me into Duel Links. When I came back to Duel Links and played a heavy, it was a Style Magician Jinzo deck that I built that worked really, really well. And I absolutely just loved this card. And I have like one of like 7 PSA 10s from like the original release that came out in the what's the set called? Like Pharaoh something, I want to say. I have a couple sealed boxes actually still. And those were hard to hit a 10 on because, again, quality wasn't that great back then for like the printer that they used. And I still have like the one of like 7 10s of the original release. And I always told myself, I'm like, yo, if we ever get a star like QCR, it'll never happen. I will be hyped. So when they announced the Style Magician was coming back a while back, I was like, in what universe? No one plays this card. There's literally 0 reason to print this card. They printed it because they released the Sound Swordsman 0 and the Sound Magician 0. But these cards don't go in that deck. So I'm just like, but Konami, why? I ain't gonna question it. This is one of my favorite cards of all time. So I'm happy about this. This is so sick. I have like 6 of these in a submission, by the way. It's fine. I actually bought one of these. Again, this is not a card you would get graded, but I bought a pretty good quality when I was in Japan. It was very cheap. And I actually bought a 10 before I left for Japan. There's 6 10s and there's 2 9s. So I'm probably just gonna crack this out and put it in one of my decks. But I wanted to see what it would do because like it looked really, really nice, quality-wise. And again, it's another card that people won't grade, but I love everything about like the Sinful Spoils theme. So Diabell Star and Diabells are just really, really dope to me. Next one, we got another Raye. You know what? We got one 10. That's fine. If I ever decide to build a Sky Striker deck, I can crack the 9s out, you know? All right, we got another 10. Sure. I literally have 5 of these, by the way, and that's because I pre-ordered 3 because I thought the prices were going to be insane. So I just grabbed 3 while they were quote-unquote cheaper. I think the prices have gone down since then, but I definitely grabbed 3. Then the price shot up, and I was like, all right, I made a smart call. And then I watched the price go down again. And then, where'd I get the other 2? I want to say I maybe in a panic of thinking like I need to make sure I can get a 10. I bought 2 more. I know I definitely didn't pull them, but yeah, sure, love that. Choke, an 8. Here we go. All right, now we got the territory where we're getting the bad. Oh, whoa! Why did I send that in? Look at that. You know, it's crazy. Like, look at that. It's crazy when you can just blatantly see it. I'll tell you what it is. I'm not gonna blast them, but the place where I bought these from, the way the cards were shipped were borderline unacceptable. Like, oh my god, they jammed all 3 into one single top loader. Into one single top loader, by the way. They just jammed all 3 in there, and I'm like, what are you doing? Who ships a card like this? If it's a common card, I get it, but this is a QCR only. This is like a chase card. What are y'all doing? Just jamming 3 into a top loader. That's why I didn't expect to get a single 10. Crazy. And we got 3 10s. We got 3 10s. Wait, do I have all of them? Hold on, come on. Let me just make sure. I think I got all the 10s. Right? Maybe? Yeah, there's 3 10s. Wow. I got a place it. That's sick. Yo, shout out to Josh. Josh Smith. I know that he's the Sky Striker guy. Also one of the greatest Yu-Gi-Oh players of all time. All right, we got Underworld Goddess to 10. I mean, a lot of these qualities are really good. This is another reason why I'm like confused that people aren't really grading these QCRs, because the print quality has been so crazy with these. There is currently 110. Really? Again, I know no one's grading Underworld Goddess, but still, like, these prices are cheap. And by the way, when I say cheap, I'm not saying like, oh my god, 30, 40 bucks is cheap for a card. That's still pretty expensive. I'm just talking about if you look at the history of Starlights or QCRs, some prices could be insane. For example, these Rays were 150 each. These are not cheap. So when you look at these Rays for like 150 each, and then you have the Underworld Goddesses and Apples, which are like 20, 30 bucks. You're like, okay, this is night and day. I mean, I could technically take this $20 card and probably sell it for like 100, 150 bucks, maybe 200 bucks. And that, if I sell like, again, multiple 10s and sell a couple, that makes up for all the prices of the cards that I bought. Well, I don't know how math works out there, but you know what I mean. Like, I don't know, I'm just confused. Let me know your thoughts in the comments about just grading, I guess, the cards of today. Because let's be real, 10 years down the line, people are going to go look back and be like, I remember Underworld Goddess. I remember Appaloosa and Masquerina. By the way, well, hold on, let me actually get to Masquerina first. Ooh, I have a story with this one. And it's a 10. Love that. Yo, I knew it. Ooh, Pop 13. Okay, so funny story with this. I went to a shop, and I just wanted a QCR Zeus. Again, in Japan, all the QCRs in English, just nobody really buys them. Because, again, it's very, very limited to the people that will play with these cards. And I walked in, I saw Zeus. It was like 40 bucks. Oh, no, take that back. I walked in, I saw Zeus for like 90 bucks, and I bought it, which was kind of like the market price for how much it was in the West at the time. I don't know if the price went up and down. I didn't really check. But I remember I bought it, and I immediately put it in my deck. And then the next day, I walked back into the exact same shop, and they had another Zeus. I don't know if they had just gotten it or they had it in the back and then they replaced it. I mean, usually when they have a card, they have like multiple copies on like the display. But that card wasn't there when I bought this one. And here's the kicker. That card was half the price. For some reason, they were selling them for 40 bucks. And I looked at that and I'm like, what's wrong with it? And again, when Japan looks at a card and they deem it not valuable enough because the quality isn't good, maybe has like a bend or something, they sell for way less. Like, they treat cards like jewelry over there. So I bought that card too, and I took that one and put it in my deck. And then this $90 one I took out, and I looked at it. I'm like, well, this looks pretty good. Let me send it to PSA and see what PSA says. Again, this is another one of those super iconic meta cards of today. It completely changes the game. And I'm like, if this ends up being a 10, this is great. I already have a Starlight version of this is a 10, which came out like a year or two ago. But now I have the cheaper version as well. I mean, it's the same thing. I like the fact that, you know, the QCRs have like the 25th anniversary stamp on it, which is nice. But yeah, so it's funny because I just wanted a card for my deck, and I got that, and then I saw this one, and I'm like, oh, okay, so sure, I'll buy that one for I bought this one for twice the price, and then the one I put in my deck I bought for way cheaper, which is funny. If I came a day later, I wouldn't even bought the second one. I would have bought just a $40 one, put in my deck, and called it a day. But now, got a 10, which is kind of sick. All right, next we got another solid magician and another 10. Yo, shout out to Ruxin, because Ruxin set like 6, and they all came back 9s except for one. What are the chances that all mine came back as a 10? Because I definitely almost bought the one that Ruxin had, but I was like, let me wait until my submission gets finished first before I do that. That's so funny. That would be so funny. That would be so funny if I accidentally, not accidentally, but if I was stupid and bought, bro, you cannot make this. How many are there? I think it's at 7, right? Yeah, there's 7 10s. One is definitely Ruxin's. Surely my 6 that I have. Oh, here's a Masquerina. It's a 9, brother. What happened? We're gonna crack this out. I'm okay with this one getting a 10 because I actually picked up this BGS one the other day that popped up, and it was a really, really good price, and I'm like, sure, let me get this, because my goal is to get a BGS 10 of Appaloosa as well as Masquerina. And again, for the price that popped up, I'm like, it was pretty expensive, but like, again, it being a BGS 10 Starlight QCR is so rare with Becket, and I don't think we'll ever see like a BGS pop 2 with this, because again, no one's grading these, number one, and two, Becket is just way more strict. I call bullshit on a lot of Beckett's grading. I'll be real with you. A lot of times they'll give a card a 9.5 and you're like, bish, where's the 9.5? Like, this makes sense because everything else, well, not this one. I have another one actually. I have like the original one, the 20th anniversary one, and the subgrades are 10, 10, 10, and then for the corners it got a 9. That's because the corner actually had like a little dot. So that one makes sense. A lot of times you'll get a card, you're like, where's the error? For example, here, 9.5 on centering, and then 9 on surface. There's nothing wrong with the surface on this card. I bet you if I review this card enough times, it would give it a 10. But sometimes Becket definitely will throw a dart and be like, yeah, we'll go with this on this card. But this not getting a 10 is fine because I'm just gonna crack it out and honestly put it in one of my decks. Yeah, I guess we're walking away with no Masquerinas out of this, which is fine. All right, last 2 cards, and we got brother. Every single one of my Sol Magicians came back at 10. And what's funny is I bought these from the same place where I pre-ordered a Rays from, and they also jammed these cards into just one separate top loader. But I guess they were more careful with that one. Just, you know, worked out. But that's so funny that I hit every single one of these 10s. Man. All right, that is today's video. I'll see you again a year from now, the next time I upload on this channel. Look, man, I'm not gonna make any excuses. I just haven't had stuff that I wanted to open, and I haven't been getting any returns. I actually have. I'm gonna attack BGS for a brief second. Not because of this. I'm just, you know, using this for the background. But I definitely have done like 10 submissions with BGS in the past like 8 months. And if you probably noticed, I haven't been uploading those. You wanna know why? Because they keep sending me my cards back without a single grade. That's why. I don't know what happened, but the Becket service has just been so ass. It's just been so awful, and there's no communication as well. So when something goes wrong, you message them, there's no response. I'm just like, what happened? You guys were so, you were doing so great, and then all of a sudden, just, I don't know if someone got fired, someone quit. It just, everything went backwards. So I'm like, all right. I literally tweeted, I'm done with Becket, and I have not graded with Becket since. Don't get me wrong, I am fiending to send something into Becket, but the last thing I want is to send my card in just for some more bullshit grades to come back or some bullshit excuses why a card didn't get graded. So I kind of put my foot down and I kind of gave up. That's why I went back to PSA. PSA might not have, you know, the greatest accuracy sometimes, but man, they are so consistent with everything else. Turnaround time, pricing, you know, when the card is a 10, it's a pretty good 10 a lot of times. Sometimes I do let some leniency go through, like you'll see a card's kind of off center, you're like, how did I just get a 10? That's because it got a 10 score and everything else, so I get that. But man, when BGS is wrong, they are wrong. Never forget when I graded this, you know, I pulled this, and they just gave it a 10, 10, 9, 5, and a 9. I'm like, what happened here? Like, Weiss cards are automatically free cards, and even with Weiss, they just started being strict for no reason. And my theory is I think they're just trying to get people to resub more, because they realize that if you grade a card and they give you a 9.5, a lot of times you'll send the card back for a review, and that's when they bump it up, and they're like, yeah, it's a 10. We just didn't want to give it to you the first time. So my theory is that they started doing that. They started focusing way more on reviews as opposed to accurately actually grading the cards. And rather than giving a card a 10, they're straight gatekeeping. I can make a whole video about this. I just chose not to, just because I don't want to be that guy. But I guess I just kind of did. It's a summarized version. We'll just say that. If I actually went into details with the 10 submissions that came back with 0 grades, it'll be insane. That's all I'm gonna say. Anyways, that said, thank y'all for watching. Stay tuned for more. Eventually, I'll upload again. But when that happens, I guess it'll happen. I'll see you guys in the comment section below. Peace.